Hi everyone. This is going to be a very brave video, so bear with me. And it's probably going to be a very confusing video because I'm going to try and explain something and also try not to say something at the same time when really I've just come in here to say one thing. So here we go. It's brave because it's not something I usually talk about. Okay, so as those of you suffering with a chronic illness are aware, when you have a chronic illness, you suffer from lack of energy. Chronic fatigue syndrome is the epitome of that. So I'm too tired to do anything. I have no energy. And recently that got me thinking. So, energy. When I talk to certain friends about energy and needing to shift energies and heal, like I get a lot of like woo, as in energy is a very like woo thing, but I don't have energy, so it's very real. And so I was like, well, if my experience with having a lack of energy is real, then surely there's some credit behind energetic healing, because that's what I need to heal my energy levels. And there's the science behind it that, well, the reason why I don't have energy is because, for instance, with chronic fatigue, I've got chronic inflammation, and that is causing a lot of pain in my body. And also because my body's trying to deal with that, it doesn't have the excess energy to do other things. And also the inflammation could be caused by an underlying infection, so the liver's having to deal with that and using up all my energy. So yeah, physically, chronic fatigue comes from a very real physical thing. But then I was like, well, what causes inflammation apart from a bacterial infection? So I've just come out of the hospital and I've been given the Dettol of antibiotics because it turns out for the past 4 or 5 years I've had pelvic inflammatory disease, which explained the horrific pain in my hips for like 2 or 3 years that never got picked up on, even though I complained about it repeatedly to my GP. Turns out, even if you go, oi, 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 and knock on the door of the GP, they still don't know what's wrong with you. But sorted now, had loads of antibiotics. So I thought, well, I'm still tired. I'm still really fatigued, I'm still shaky. Now that's probably because I've only been off the antibiotics for a week and my body's still not recovered yet. But I did wonder. And so I've tried a couple of things recently. I went to a gong bath. Oh wait, hang on. No. Scrap. I'm not on there yet. So, what else causes inflammation apart from an underlying infection? Could you get chronic fatigue without having an infection? And I thought, well, actually, anger is inflammation. So your body is angry, you have inflammation. So what if people had stored anger in their body? Could that lead to chronic fatigue? Or what if there was a lot of grief inside a person? Because we all know that grief can cause all sorts of illnesses. So what if there's trapped grief? And I was like, trapped anger, not unexpressed anger, unexpressed grief. And then I was like, it's like the energy has been blocked from coming out. And then I remember all of these woo-woo people talking about energy blocks. And I was like, oh my God, what if it's a real thing? And so I went on an exploration to figure out if it was real. And so I went on a gong bath, and I would love to know the science behind it because I have never experienced anything quite like that in my life. You lie there to start off with and go, yeah, I shouldn't have come, this is doing nothing. And then the next minute, boom, I was gone, I was out of it. And it just felt like stuff was moving about inside me, like energy. It felt like bits of me were churning, and some bits of me felt like they were just like going, whoo. So stuff was definitely moving inside of me. And I've also done sound baths. So I found that sound really works for me. I've done different massages, and each time, and I've also done the dance of the Black Madonna. I loved that. Really interesting. But all of these kind of woo-woo things, I always had a big shift in my energy levels afterwards. It would then gradually come back down, but I would always feel a little bit just higher than I was before. And yeah, I had a really incredible experience with reflexology yesterday, whereby I feel like something has moved. And yeah, so the lady who did my massage was massaging my foot, and she's like, "This is your shoulder. There's something going on in your shoulder. There's something going on in your solar plexus, and yeah, there's something going on with your adrenals." And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, adrenals." And I afterwards, my shoulder was throbbing. She had not touched my shoulder, and my shoulder hadn't throbbed like that in a very long time. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, like, it feels a little better. And when she finished, my surge of energy was insane. I met up with two of my old work colleagues, friends, for immediately after, and I couldn't stop talking. I was like, "Hi, everyone!" So something happened. And so then I was like, well, what is this energy? So coming back to these trapped emotions, I realise now that there have been... So I did some anger work. I am angry. I've done some grief work and let some grief go. And that's Shuri. And then, yeah, and I found that every time I did that, I felt a bit lighter. And I noticed that, so, okay, if I'm trying to hold on to anger, my body tenses. And I'm like, and I get really stiff. For my body to hold myself like that, that's using energy. And if I have to do that all the time, that's really energetic. I was really, really stressed at my last job. So stressed. And I know I'm not the only person who was stressed at that job. It broke a lot of people. And I have for years felt tense in my stomach, like really tense. And it wasn't until after reflexology that I felt that I didn't even know it was tense because I was just used to that feeling. And then it relaxed, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my god, that's what it's like to have a relaxed belly. So this whole time, my body is holding myself in that tense way. And so when they talk about energy blocks, is that just that your body is using energy to block an emotion that should just come out? And I'm finding that really interesting. So at the moment, I'm doing life coaching. And one of the things that is happening as part of that process, so I'm going through the coaching process at the moment, is that I'm uncovering all of my triggers. And I think it's during these trigger moments that my energies get blocked. Anyone's energy gets blocked. And if you stay triggered all of the time, then that can exhaust your body. So and this is where the confession's coming up. Whew. Okay, so I've already worked through feelings of like not feeling good enough, and actually I've realized it's all boiling down to the same thing. So a lot of tension in your body can be created through a subconscious belief that isn't serving you. So my subconscious value, has, and I didn't realize this until recently, has always been approval. I want people to like me, and I've been willing to put myself out so that physically I've been doing far too much for people, and that's led to me having less energy. It's being on an emotional level, holding my emotions back and trying to please. I've been very much a pleaser, and it's led to me doing things that I don't want to do, that don't feel right for me, and so forth, has been like suppressing any other feelings that I've had. That's an energy block. Suppressing your feelings and emotions is an energy block. I now realize this. So so now at the moment I'm trying to work with how to release that, and I've managed to boil it down to one single belief that is still holding me back. I've just noticed I've started talking to a new person online, and I had to stop the conversation because I was convinced I was going to have this happen to me. My one limiting thing at the moment, and possibly the cause of a lot of tension in my body that I need to let go. Possibly the cause of some of, not all of, because bacterial infections and stuff, but some of my fatigue. And that is, I have a massive, crippling, horrendous fear of rejection. To the point where it took me ages to even start From Lyme to Living. It took me forever to even start a Facebook page, and it's still there. And I thought I was over it, and I'm not. And I changed my behaviour because of it. And I become, what's the word? Sorry, I just got distracted. I just changed my behaviour because of it. I'm very tense. I don't let it go. I immediately try and stop the conversation when someone's trying to talk to me, so that they don't say, so that I don't like, so for instance on Messenger, I'm scared that if I type, oh yeah, so what about this, and continue the conversation, that they then won't reply, and that's rejection. And also, so when I've joined, it's even been as silly as when I've joined Facebook groups and clicked like on a Facebook, or request to join a Facebook group, something will come up on my phone that will say, blah, 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 has, and it won't say whether it's accepted or rejected my quest to be part of their group. And my brain will automatically go, ha, they rejected you, see, you shouldn't have joined it. And I'm like, so a lot of my energy is going there. So what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks, and I'll share that with you, so I'm moving away from nutritional, I'm still doing an anti-inflammatory diet. I am still doing detoxing. I'm still doing exercises and getting lymph moving and all that stuff. Still doing that. But my focus for the next few weeks is going to be on working with energy and concentrating on my limiting belief and trying to just get it to chill out a little bit. So that's my aim. And I'll be sharing that as I go. So we're going less from the physical and more to the woo-woo. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you for listening. I'll see you again soon. Bye.